The MP5 or the Milano? This is the question that we need to answer in this video, and we're going to give you the stats and the overall breakdown of both of the guns and compare them in Cold War to let you know which one you should be using. If you're interested on keeping up to date with everything regarding Cold War, especially when it changes over into Warzone, feel free to subscribe to the channel as we're going to be creating a lot more content in the coming days. This series is going to be dedicated to giving you quick overall stats for each of the guns, some taken directly from the game, some also calculated by ourselves. And we're going to be starting a new series on the channel where we review each of the weapons individually, diving deeper into the stats, so stay tuned for that. But first, talking about the Milano and the MP5, now these are the first two SMGs you unlock whilst playing Black Ops Cold War. And my reasoning behind making this video is I see a lot of people like using the Milano, and then also a lot of people like using the MP5 as well, and I actually wanted to work out which one is actually better between these two SMGs. Personally, I prefer the MP5, and I'll say that straight away, and I also think the MP5 is the better gun, but we'll take a look into the stats so we can see exactly why that is the case. So the class setups we use to test each of these guns: on the body we use a SWAT 5mm laser for the MP5. For the underbarrel we're using the foregrip, and that's because it has no cons to it at all. You're just getting a bit of recoil control, which definitely helps. We're then using the 40 round drum mags, and that's to make sure you're not reloading at close range in mid gunfight. It does increase your reload time, but in multiplayer your time to kill is pretty low, so you should be able to kill almost a full squad of enemies with a 40 round mag. The drop shot wrap is a must on any SMG in my opinion, and you'll see that I use it on the Milano as well. And the collapsible stock is one of the attachments that could be switched out for something else. On the Milano I use the Microflex optic, and that's because the iron sights on this gun are not great. On the MP5 it's actually got quite nice iron sights, but on the Milano it's really hard to see. The barrel I use the reinforced heavy barrel. This gun hits pretty hard for an SMG, and extended that damage range just helps quite a lot. The body, again we use the 5mm laser, and that's just to make sure your SMG can hipfire really well. For the mags we went with the largest mags with the least cons, similar to the MP5, and then like I said, the most important attachment is the drop shot wrap. In close quarters gunfights you need every advantage you can get with drop shotting and jump shotting, and now that drop shotting is not standard in this game, being able to use this attachment gives you an automatic advantage. You may not agree with some of the attachments, but this is after hours of playing with both of these guns. This is what I feel I play well with, and I just wanted to share it with you. But if you've been using the Milano or the MP5 for a while and you didn't know where to start with attachments, use these class setups and these will keep you right for the majority of your gameplay. And just make sure you're using that drop shot wrap. Now this is my favourite bit where we take a look into the stats of each of the guns to see exactly where they stack up. Like I said, this is not going to be completely in-depth, this is going to give you a quick overview whilst the game is brand new. On the screen here you'll see the stats of both of the guns, the MP5 on the left, the Milano on the right. Green is some highlight areas I wanted you to focus on, blue is with the attachments added, and white is just the base weapon. Let's point out some key stats here. So for the MP5 is a 4-shot kill to the head. The Milano is a 3-shot kill to the head. Now this is not stated in the game anywhere, so there's definitely a bonus for headshots. Body shot damage is a 5-shot kill with the MP5 and a 4-shot kill with the Milano, but where the MP5 makes up for this is with his rate of fire of 857 rounds per minute, and the Milano has 576 rounds per minute. Now this is taken directly from the game. Now this is where I said the MP5 was better than the Milano, whereas the time to kill for the MP5 is 280 milliseconds, and with the Milano is 312.5 milliseconds. The base health in Cold War is 150 health points and not 100 like in Modern Warfare. Now these damage profiles are only effective within the damage ranges you have on the screen just now. So with the MP5, because we never added any attachments that increased the damage range, I had the attachment damage range and the base damage range the same. On the Milano we did add that attachment that extended the damage range out to 14.99 meters, so in this case the MP5 is still the winner even though it doesn't have any extra attachments for damage range. For the base aim down sight time, the Milano is the winner here, and the same goes for when all the attachments are added. The MP5 does have the slightly slower aim down sight speed. We use the same attachment for the mag size on the MP5 and the Milano, and it's quite funny to see that even though the Milano has a lower rate of fire and high damage profile, it has more bullets in the mag, and that means that with the MP5 you're going to be running out of bullets much quicker even though you do have a 40 round mag. The Milano's bullet velocity is faster than the MP5, and that's because, like I said, it had that attachment on there with the barrel. However, its base bullet velocity was 225 milliseconds, so if you're comparing the base bullet velocity, the MP5 is better. And you should be landing your shots much easier with the MP5 than the Milano. And you can see that barrel attachment almost doubles the bullet velocity on the Milano, which is great. The same thing would happen if you added the similar attachment to the MP5 as well, but I don't think it's necessary here, especially in the ranges you're using the Milano and the MP5. And finally, the MP5's reload time is slower than the Milano's at 0.5 seconds. So from the looks of things, in terms of just killing power, the MP5 is the better gun here. Even though the Milano performs better in terms of its damage profile, the higher rate of fire on the MP5 just means it has that lower time to kill. And with that large mag, especially in multiplayer, you can rip through multiple enemies. Once these guns release in Warzone, we'll compare these guns again because they're going to be completely rebalanced for Warzone. And we'll make another video updating you on this in the future. Looking at the recoil chart for both the Milano and the MP5, we have no attachments on the left and the attachments on the right. And the recoil in this game is pretty weird because the only attachment we use for the MP5 that controls the recoil is the underbarrel attachment with the foregrip, and this reduces the horizontal recoil by 15%, which seems to be the case here, but it also looks as if that the vertical recoil has also increased at the same time. The weirdest one by far is the Milano because we use no attachments that would benefit the recoil or make the recoil worse. And after a little bit of testing, I found out the problem is the 45 round mags, and this could be the same problem with the MP5 as well, is that the larger magazine actually does increase the recoil vertically by a little bit. Like I said, this is not stated in the game anywhere, but this definitely seems to be the case here. As you can see on the right, the Milano does kick much higher than it does on the left. Next we have the Hipfire chart, which is a bit easier to explain of course. Now that we added the 5mm laser on both of the guns, you can actually see that the Hipfire spread is slightly tighter on the right than it is on the left. Keep in mind, on the right 40 bullets or 45 bullets were fired, whereas on the left it was the base magazines for both of the weapons. So the spread is definitely much tighter and much more consistent on the right hand side with the 5mm laser. What just seems pretty weird to me is the fact that even though Treyarch stated the stats inside the game are taken straight from the code for each of the weapons, it still seems to be that there is a lot of things that are not stated inside the game. And this is how it was with Modern Warfare and Warzone, so hopefully Treyarch put this into the game so people know exactly what's happening with their guns when they're adding certain attachments. Nonetheless, comparing the recoil chart and the Hipfire chart together, we can see that the Hipfire with the Milano is actually better than the MP5, which is the case because when I see people firing the Milano and hipfiring with it, it seems to be no recoil whatsoever. But on the other hand, in terms of recoil, the MP5 is definitely the most vertical straight up recoil, and it also has less horizontal bounce as well. So if you're going to be aiming down sight, the MP5 is a better option, and if you're going to be hip firing quite a lot, the Milano's the better option. I still stand by my initial thoughts saying that the MP5 is the better out of the two SMGs. I also feel like the MP5 has some weird extra aim assist for some reason. I can easily lock onto targets much better with the MP5 than I can with most other weapons. This is not just the Milano, this is even with some of the assault rifles. I've noticed that the Krig 6 and the MP5 have better aim assist than some of the other guns in the game. But this might be something we need to test in the future. But like I said, if you had to pick one of these two guns to maybe get gold with, or try and get the diamond camo, or whatever it is, you should go with the MP5. I think it's one of the best guns in the game at the moment. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave us a like as it gets us recommended to more people. And also subscribe to the channel as we're trying to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so help us achieve that. And thank you very much for watching.